Hello, hello students. In this lecture, we will take a new topic, strain gauge. So we'll start. So introduction to this strain gauge, and we will define what is strain gauge. So in this, a strain sensitive material is one whose electrical resistance is proportional to the instantaneous spatial average strain over its surface. Such materials are of two types, that is either it is metallic, that is foil or wire, or a semiconductor. When such a material is stretched, its length increases. When material is stretched, its length increases and its cross section decreases. Consequently, there is an increase in its electrical resistance. This change in resistance is measure of mechanical motion. Okay, so this strain gauge is basically used for finding the motion, mechanical motion. So definition of strain gauge. So strain gauge gauge is a device which uses change in electrical resistance to measure a strain. Device which uses change in electrical resistance to measure strain is called as a strain gauge. So this is a basic strain gauge structure, strain gauge manufacturing process as shown in this figure. So strain gauge is constructed of a very fine wire or foil. So this is a very fine wire or foil set up in a grid pattern. So this is a setup in a grid pattern and attached to a flexible backing. Here backing is not shown. In next figure we will show the what is backing. So this is called as a backing. Okay, and attached to a flexible backing. This is a backing. When the shape of the strain gauge is altered, a change in its electrical resistance occurs. The wire or foil in the strain gauge is arranged in a way that when force is applied in one direction, a linear change in resistance results. This is important sentence. The wire or foil in the strain gauge is arranged in such a way that when force is applied in one direction, a linear change in resistance result. Tension force stretches a strain gauge, causing it to get thinner and longer, resulting an increase in resistance. So when we stretch it, it becomes thinner and longer, and therefore there is an increase in the resistance. Compression force does the opposite. The strain gauge compresses, becomes thicker and shorter. If we compress this strain gauge, then it becomes compressed and thicker and shorter, and resistance then decreases. So when we stretch, then resistance increases, and when we compress, then resistance decreases. So this is an important concept. When we stretch, resistance increases, and when we compress, resistance decreases. The strain gauge is attached to a flexible backing. So this is a flexible backing. Okay, flexible backing, enabling it to be easily applied to a load cell, mirroring the minute changes to be measured. So this is a strain gauge. So since the change in resistance measured by single strain gauge is extremely small, it is difficult to accurately measure changes. Increasing the number of strain gauges applied collectively magnifies these small changes into something more measurable. A set of 4 strain gauges set in a specific circuit is called Weston's bridge. So Weston's bridge is a good example of this strain gauge. So this is a diagrammatical representation of Weston's bridge, and it is a configuration of 4 balance resistors. So 4 balance resistors are there: R1, R2, R3, R4, with a known excitation voltage applied as shown in this figure. So this excitation voltage Vx is applied. When applied to the 4 legs of the Weston's bridge circuit, the resulting equation becomes So what is the resulting equation? Phi0 is equal to this R3 upon R3 plus R4 minus R2 upon R1 plus R2 into phi Ex. So this is the equation. So this is the equation. V0 is equal to bracket R3 upon R3 plus R4 minus R2 upon R1 plus R2 into Vx, where Vx is a known constant voltage and V0 is measured voltage. We have to find the voltage. If all resistors are balanced, meaning R1 by R2 is equal to R3 by R4, then V0 is 0. If the voltages, that is this ratio, is equal, then V0 is a 0, that is output voltage is 0. If there is a change in the value of one of the resistors, then V0 will have a resulting change that can be measured and interpreted using Ohm's law. Okay, so if there is any change in resistance, then V0 is also changed. Ohm's law states that the current running through a conductor between 2 points is directly proportional to the voltage across the 2 points. So resistance is introduced as the constant in this relationship independent of the current. Ohm's law is expressed in the equation, that is I is equal to phi by R. So when the metallic member to which strain gauge is attached, so here when we attach strain gauges to this western bridge, then attach is stretched by the application of force. Okay, that is when metallic member to which means which the strain gauge are attached, here strain gauge attached, is stretched by application of force, and if we stretch by application of force, the resulting strain leads to change in resistance in one of the resistors. So there is a change in value of one of the resistance. This change in resistance results in a change in output voltage. Therefore, there is a change in output voltage. Okay, this small change in output voltage can be measured and digitalized after careful amplification. So in a load cells, these registers are replaced by strain gauges. So this figure shows more details. These registers, if we replace with the strain gauges as shown in this figure, when a force is applied to the load cell, the resistance in each strain gauge changes and V0 is measured as previously mentioned. So if we apply force to the load cell, then resistance in each strain gauge changes. This resistance value changes and we will measure the output voltage. V0 can be easily determined. So this is how strain gauge is connected as shown in this figure. Additional diagram is there. The next strain will define what is strain for the mathematical representation. This strain in strain gauge, strain word is coming. So what is strain? Strain is the amount of deformation of a body due to an applied force. Amount of deformation of a body due to applied force. So that is when we apply force to any body, there is a deformation or some changes takes place in that body. More specifically, strain epsilon is defined as fractional change in length as shown in figure. So this is if we force is applied to this side, then there is a change in length. It is known as a differential length, we can say del L. Therefore strain epsilon is given by del L upon L, and this is the original length and this is the incremental length. Okay, strain can be positive or negative. That is, a positive means tensile and negative means compressive. Although dimensionless, strain is sometimes expressed in units such as mm or mm. In practice, the magnitude of measured strain is very small, therefore strain is often expressed as a macro strain. So in that, in the strain gauge, we'll define what is gauge factor. So gauge factor is defined as a ratio of fractional change in electrical resistance to the fractional change in length. So gauge factor is defined as a ratio of fractional change in resistance to the fractional change in the length, that is del R by R divided by del R by L. Therefore, we can write what is del L by L, which is a strain, therefore denoted by epsilon. Therefore, this equation becomes del R upon epsilon, where del R is a resistance change, that is a change in resistance is a del R, del L is a change in length L, and R is the initial resistance. Okay, and del L is a change in length is the original length, and L is the original length of the wire or coil, and del L by L is a unit strain to which the wire or coil is subjected. Okay, so gauge factor for metallic strain gauge is typically around 2. So in problem solving, this formula is required. So keep this formula in mind. So in the previous slides we have explained strain gauge. We will explain this strain gauge with some animation so that you can understand better, and more knowledge is added in your study. So how does a resistive load cell works? A resistive load cell works on the principle of piezo resistivity. When a load or force or stress is applied to the sensor, it changes its resistance. This change in resistance leads to change in output voltage when input voltage is applied. A load cell is made by using elastic member. So any load cell is made up by using elastic member to which number of strain gauges are attached. So this resistive load cell in principle, or this is also called as a strain gauge. So this is an example where strain gauges are connected. This is a strain gauge, here is also strain gauge. We can connect here and also here. So it forms just like Weston's bridge structure, and we will measure the output voltage here. When there is change in any resistance, then there is change in output voltage. In this particular load cell shown in above figure, uh, there are total of 4 strain gauges that are bonded to the upper and lower surface of the load cell. So there are 4 load cells here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 load cells as shown in this figure animation. There is a 4 load cells, 1, 2, 3, 4. When the load is applied to the body of resistive load cell as shown in above, the elastic member deflects as shown, and creates a strain at those locations due to the stress applied. So this as shown in this animation. As a result, two of the strain gauges are in compression, whereas the other two are in a tension. So here two are in a compression mode, that is here when they are compression, then resistance decreases, and when there is a tension, then resistance increases. Okay, whereas the other two are in tension as shown in below in animation. So when it goes upper side, then there is a compression, and when it goes lower side, then there is a tension. Okay, stretching is there. During a measurement, weight acts on the load cell metal spring element and causes elastic deformation. This strain, either positive or negative, is converted into electrical signal by strain gauge installed on the spring element. The simplest type of load cell is a bending beam with strain gauge. We use Weston's bridge circuit to convert this change in strain or resistance into voltage, which is proportional to the load. So from this animation we can observe that here this is a strain gauge, and if there is a change in resistance of this any resistance if there is change in resistance, then there is a change in output voltage. So observe this animation. So if there is a constant resistance, there is zero voltage. Observe here, zero voltage, there is a constant resistance. Observe 350, 350, 350, then there is a zero voltage. Then if there is a change in resistance, here 350.7 हो जाता है, here 349.3, then here क्या हो जाता है देखो 349.3 and here becomes 350, 350.7. If there is a change in resistance occur, then there is a change in output voltage, and when there is no change, then there is a zero voltage as shown in this figure. Okay, so this animation shows the working of the strain gauge. That is, when there is a change in resistance, then there is a change in output voltage. So Weston's bridge circuit, as previously mentioned, we have the 4 strain gauges are configured in a Weston's bridge configuration with 4 separate resistors connected as shown in the above. That is an excitation of stage. Usually 10 volt is applied to one set of corners and the voltage difference is measured between the other two corners. At equilibrium with no applied load, the voltage output is 0 or very close to 0. So at equilibrium condition, output voltage is 0, or when the resistance values are equal, then there is a 0 voltage, and when there is a change in resistance, then there is a we will get variation in output voltage. And next is as previously we have explained in detail strain gauge. Next is a cantilever load cell. This is also one of the strain gauge type. Second type is this cantilever load cell in your syllabus. So cantilever load cell is a strain gauge based low profile bending beam low cell and is for precision single point load applications. So these load cells can be used in tank weighing, hopper weighing, truck weighing. This type of a cantilever load cells are used. The cantilever type of a structural member made up of a stainless steel material used for the load cell design as shown in the next slide. 4 strain gauges were fixed on one end of the cantilever beam as shown in the next slide. The Weston's bridge circuit, otherwise called full bridge circuit, employed to determine the load produced as a change in resistance. So here also Weston's bridge circuit concept is applied, and change in resistance, then there is a change in output voltage. The advantage is that the circuit can be used for both static and dynamic measurement. The effect of the nonlinear terms are negligible, and also temperature compression is not required. So the resistance R1, R2, R3 and R4 are all active strain gauges of resistance. So R1, R2, R3, R4. This is a resistances and forms the Weston's bridge circuit, and if there is a change in resistance, then there is a change in output voltage. So this is a cantilever beam type load cell arrangement. So okay, thank you. So in this lecture we have taken details of the strain gauge. So this strain gauge is important, and by varying the resistance value, or if we stretch or any force is applied, there is a stretching, and there is a variation in a resistance and output voltage we can measure. We have also studied what is gauge factor. Okay, and next we have studied with animation working of strain gauge, and next we have studied cantilever load cell. Okay, thank you. We'll stop here.